Once upon a time, in a bustling market in the heart of Africa, there lived a woman named Obiageli. Obiageli was a food seller renowned for her delicious dishes that attracted customers from far and wide. Her food store was always crowded, with people waiting in line for a taste of her mouth-watering jollof rice, succulent suya flavoured egusi soup. Obiageli's success, however, was not just due to her culinary skills. She had a secret ingredient that made her food irresistible to her customers. This secret ingredient was not a spice or a seasoning, but something much more unusual. Amma had a large open wound on her leg, which she had obtained in a childhood accident. Despite her efforts to treat it, the wound had never fully healed. One day, while washing her wound with warm water, Obiageli had an unusual idea. She decided to use the water she had washed her wound with to cook her food. To her surprise, the food turned out to be incredibly delicious. The customers who tasted it couldn't get enough, and soon Obiageli's food store was flooded with people clamoring for her dishes. As the days went by, Obiageli continued to use the water from her wound to cook, and her business continued to thrive. People began to notice that Obiageli's food was not only delicious but also seemed to have a strange addictive quality. Customers would return to her store day after day, craving another taste of her dishes. Some even reported experiencing vivid dreams and visions after eating her food, which only added to its allure. As Obiageli's fame grew, so did her wealth. She expanded her business, hiring more cooks and opening new stores in different parts of the market. But despite her success, Obiageli never revealed the secret of her addictive dishes. However, not everyone was oblivious to Obiageli's secret. A young boy named Raphael, who worked in the market, had grown suspicious of Obiageli's activities. He had noticed that she would often disappear into her store, only to emerge with a large pot of steaming hot food. Raphael's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to investigate further. One day, while Obiageli was busy serving customers, Raphael snuck into her stall and made a shocking discovery. He saw Obiageli washing her wound and using the water to cook her food. Horrified, Raphael realized that Obiageli's secret ingredient was, in fact, the pus and bacteria from her wound. Raphael was torn between her loyalty to Obiageli, who had always treated him kindly, and his duty to expose the truth. In the end, he decided to reveal Obiageli's secret to the market authorities. The consequences were immediate. Obiageli's store was shut down, and she was banned from selling food in the market. Her customers were shocked and disgusted, and many of them fell ill after learning about the true nature of Obiageli's cooking. Obiageli, realizing that her secret had been exposed, was filled with remorse. She had never intended to harm anyone and had being blinded by her desire for success. She spent the rest of her days in solitude, reflecting on her actions and seeking forgiveness from those. After Obiageli's store was shut down, the market authorities conducted a thorough investigation into her activities. They discovered that Obiageli had been using the water from her wound to cook her food for months, and that many of her customers had fallen ill as a result. The authorities were shocked and outraged by Obiageli's action, and they vowed to take actions to prevent such incidents in the future. They implemented new regulations and guidelines for food sellers in the market, requiring them to maintain strict standards of hygiene and cleanliness. Obiageli, meanwhile, was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. She had lost her business, her reputation, and the trust of her customers. She was filled with regret and remorse, and she didn't know how she would ever be able to make things right. As she sat in her small apartment, feeling sorry for herself, there was a knock at the door. It was Raphael, the young boy who had exposed her secret. Raphael looked at Obiageli with a mixture of sadness and compassion. Obi, I know what you did was wrong, he said, but I also know that you are not a bad person. You made a mistake and you need to face the consequences. But I want you to know that I am here for you and I want to help you make things right. Obiageli was touched by Raphael's words and she felt a sense of gratitude towards him. She realized that she had been given a second chance and she was determined to make the most of it. With Raphael's help, Obiageli began to rebuild her life. After she apologized to her customers and offering to compensate them for any harm she may have caused, she then worked to regain her certification as a food seller, and she eventually opened a new stall in the market. This time, however, Obiageli did things differently. She maintained strict standard of hygiene and cleanliness, and she was transparent about her ingredients and cooking method. She also made a point to give back to her community, offering free food to those in need and supporting local initiatives. She adopted a new rule of cooking in the open so that people could see the ingredients she used to regain back their trust. As the months passed, Obiageli's new store became a success and she was able to rebuild her reputation as a food seller. She never forgot the lessons she had learned from her mistakes and she remained committed to doing things the right way. And as for Raphael, he remained a close friend and confidant to Obiageli, and he continued to support her on her journey. Together, they proved that it's never too late to make a change and start anew. So please, guys, before you eat in any food store, make sure you know how the food is prepared. The story of Obageli, the obese food seller, serves us as a cautionary tale about the dangers of desperation and the importance of honesty. It reminds us that such success achieved through deceit and harm to others is not worth the cost, and that true greatness can be achieved through hard work, integrity, and a commitment to doing what is right. I hope you did enjoy the story about the food seller, Biageli the food seller. I hope to see you in my next video upload. For my returning subscribers, a big thank you. And if this is your first time of stumbling into my channel, you're highly welcome. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and invite your friends and families to my channel. And please don't forget to turn on your bell button to get other story updates. Thank you.